You can see the screen, Mataji?
Yeah, it's loading. Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So today actually is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji's disappearance day.
Yes.
And this is one of the bhajans which he has written. So, I mean, we don't know singing, but we will make an attempt to sing. Okay.
Sure.
So we'll get started. Radhe Radhe Govindaya Radhe Radhe
राधे देखा दिए प्राण राखा
राधे
राधे
तुम्हार कंगाल तुम
राधे 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 विलासिनी
राधे राधे
राधे हनुमान
मोहिनी
राधे 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 अष्ट सखी शिरोमणि राधे राधे राधे
वृषभानु नंदिनी राधे राधे
गोसाई
राधे राधे
गोसाई एक बार डाके के श्री घाटे राधे राधे गोसाई अबार डाके वंशी बाटे राधे राधे गोसाई एक बार डाके विधु बाटे राधे राधे गोसाई अबार डाके कुंजवाने राधे राधे
गोसाई एक बार डाके राधे कुंडे
राधे राधे गोसाई एक अबार डाके
श्यामा कुंडे राधे राधे
गोसाई
एक बार डाके कुसुम वने राधे राधे
गोसाई
अबार डाके गोवर्धने राधे राधे
गोसाई एक बार डाके तालवाने राधे राधे
अबार डाके
तमाल वाने राधे राधे गोसाई
मालिना वासे
गया राधे
राधे
राजे
राधुलया गड़ी जया दे राधे
गोसाई
मुखे राधे राधा बने राधे राधे
भाषे
नयने राजा ले राधे राधे
गोसाई
वृंदावन कुली कुली राधे राधे
केड़े
बैलाय राधा बली राधे राधे गोसाई छप्पन दंडा रात्रि दिने दे राधे जाने न राधा गोविंद बिने राधे राधे पारे चरी गंगा स्तुति ठाके राधे राधे स्वप्ने राधा गोविंद देखे राधे राधे कोथा गोई प्रेमणिमयी राधे 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 गोजया राधे 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 गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी की जय. So we'll read the translation also of this bhajan. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji used to live in Vrindavan and he used to continuously sing this bhajan. He has written this bhajan and he used to sing this bhajan. And in this bhajan, when he's referring to Gosai, he's talking about Raghunath Das Goswami. So let's read the translation of this. Where is she who is full of prema? All glories to Sri Radha. O Radha, please give me your darshana and save my life. Your wretched beggar calls out to you, Radhe, Radhe. O Radha, enjoy pleasure pastimes. You enjoy pleasure pastimes in the forest of Vrindavana, wherein you enchant the mind of Krishna. O Radhe, you are the crest jewel among your 8 principal Sakhis. O Radha, daughter of Vrishabhanu Baba, Raghunath Das Goswami was always calling out Radhe, Radhe. Sometimes at Keshi Ghata, sometimes at Vamshivata, sometimes in Nidhuvana, sometimes in Seva Kunja, sometimes at Radha Kunda, sometimes at Shama Kunda, sometimes at Kusuma Sarovar, sometimes at Girija Govardhan, sometimes at Talavana, sometimes at Tamalavana. Raghunath Das Goswami wears simple cloth which appears to be dirty because he is always rolling on the earth crying out Radhe, Radhe. Calling out Radhe, Radhe, his eyes are bursting with a flood of tears. He wanders throughout the lanes of Vrindavana, crying out Radhe, Radhe. He knows nothing but Radha Govinda throughout the day and night. 56 dandas, one danda is equal to 24 minutes. Radhe, Radhe. He takes rest for only 4 dandas, 1 hour 36 minutes. At that time, in his dream, he receives darshana of Radha Govinda, Radhe, Radhe. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji in this bhajan is actually glorifying Raghunath Das Goswami, and he's remembering what Raghunath Das Goswami used to do. And he used to sing, he has written this bhajan and he used to sing this bhajan continuously when he was staying in Vrindavan. And today is the disappearance day of Raghunath Das, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, who is the Guru Maharaj of His Holiness Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. So just a remembrance of these great personalities on their disappearance day. So, and today is also Devuthapana Ekadashi, and it's a very auspicious day. So we'll begin our class and we'll discuss about Srimad Bhagavatam in that. So I'll start with the prayers and we'll then get started. I hope you can clearly hear.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रहे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna Prabhujis and Matajis, my Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for joining in. So, so today we are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 23. Before we get into it, so today is the starting day for Bhishma Panchak. Now, what is Bhishma Panchak? Bhishma Panchak is basically these 5 days of Kartik month at the end of the Kartik month. And on this 5 days, Bhishma Pitama had done a fast, and 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 he has done a very strict fast, and he has taken a very strict vow of brahmacharya, and hence these 5 days are named after Bhishma Dev. And at the end of this, I mean, he did this fasting, and then the Lord was very pleased with the fasting which Bhishma Pitama had done. And basically he did it when he was on this on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when he was laying down in a bed of arrows. And he performed this fast at that time, and the Supreme Lord was very pleased with him, and as because of that he got darshan of the Lord at the end of his life. And it is said that one who performs this vrata, or one who does Bhishma Panchak, he gets the same benefit of as doing the complete Kartik vrata. So even if you have not done anything in the Kartik month, you can still do something in these 5 days and you'll get the same benefits. So take these 5 days seriously and perform devotional service. It will have multifold impact, and multifold benefits for your spiritual life. So So this starting from Ekadashi, Dvadashi, Trayodashi, and then fourth day, and then Purnima, Kartik Purnima. So these are the 5 days of Bhishma Panchak, and we can perform some devotional activities. Now, if your health permits, you can even do fasting, but then it's all according to our time, place, and circumstances. The important point is to do something rather than not doing something, right? So focus on doing some devotional activities, doing extra rounds of chanting, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, or any other devotional activities, right? Doing kirtan or any devotional activities which are performed during these 5 days have multifold benefits. So please take advantage of it, starting with this Ekadashi. Now this Ekadashi is also called as Dev Uthapana Ekadashi, where the Supreme Lord just wakes up from his Yog Nidra. He's taking a small nap, and 4 months pass on this material planet, and today he gets up. So actually, in our Vedic culture, no auspicious activities were performed during these 4 months. Basically, when I say auspicious, like marriages or any other ceremonies which we do, are not performed in this Chaturmasya when the Supreme Lord is sleeping. And once he gets up, now people can start performing all the activities and they all the auspicious activities like marriages and other ceremonies. So that's the thing here. He's Lord Vishnu just takes a small nap, and once he gets up, this is what is the Ekadashi today. So another auspicious day today. Another thing is, today is the disappearance day of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to live in Vrindavan. There is a small biography of him. Let's read 1 or 2 paragraphs to understand who he was, what kind of Mahabhagavata he was, just to remember him. We'll read 1 or 2 paragraphs from his biography. So I've just opened it here and I'll read it. In 1849, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji left Grihastha life after the death of his wife. He moved to Vrindavan and took initiation from Shri Bhagavata Das Babaji, a disciple of Shri Jagannath Das Babaji. For over 30 years, Gaur Kishore Das stayed in Vrindavan, performing bhajana under the trees at Giri Govardhan, Nandagram, Varshana, Radha Kund, Surya Kund, Raval, Gokula. Sitting in seclusion, he chanted 2 lakh names of Krishna every day, 128 rounds of japa. He felt painful separation from Radha Govinda and cried profusely. As he wandered through the Dvadasha Vana, 12 forest of Raja, he would loudly chant the holy names in a deep voice full of lamentation. He would also relish the following bhajan. This is what is the bhajan which we just did. O Radhe, where are you, O goddess of ecstatic love? O Radhe, Radhe, all glories to you, O Radhe, Radhe. So this is the bhajan which we did. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji used to live in Vrindavan. He used to chant as mentioned here. There is a big description about him, his life and all that. And you can read it from here. But today is the disappearance day of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and we should remember him, these great personalities. I mean, we recently had a yatra of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj at Govardhan, and in this bhajan, it's talking about Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda. So imagine, right? These great personalities have stayed at that same very place which we visited, right? I mean, that's why it is said that the dust at those places is so very powerful, right? Because these great personalities have stayed there, they have lived there, they've spent their time there, they have done their bhajan there, and hence those holy places have that potency, right? The potency of those holy places is also coming from the devotees who have stayed there, right? It's not just that the Supreme Lord has performed his pastimes, but after he has gone, imagine that, right? Supreme Lord was there 5,000 years ago. And after that, countless number of devotees have stayed in that place, and you can get the potency and benefit of those holy places through these great personalities. And we can see that he's talking about Radha Kund, he's talking about Shama Kund, he's talking about Govardhan, right? He's talking about all the places in Vrindavan as well. He's talking about Kusum Sarovar as well, right? So that these great personalities have stayed at those places, and we can still see the potency of those places, right? So with that, we'll start our class today. So we are in Canto 8, chapter 23. So let me just open the summary first, and we'll read the summary once. We'll try to understand where do we stand. So this is Canto 8. Name of the canto is Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations. And we are discussing in this Canto 8, we are discussing about the pastime of Lord Vamandev, right? So Lord Vamandev appeared as son of Aditi in order to, because Aditi performed that Payovrata, and after that she pleased the Supreme Lord with that vrata, and then the Supreme Lord agreed to come as her son, and in order to help Indra. Indra is Aditi's son, and Indra had lost all his heavenly kingdoms to the demons, and Bali Maharaj is now the ruler of the world, ruler of the entire cosmic manifest, not the entire cosmic. He is the ruler of the heavenly planets or the 14 planetary systems, and Aditi being very affectionate towards his children, becomes morose and then performs the vrata, and then asks the Supreme Lord to come as his son, so that as her son, and so that she can ask, I mean, the Supreme Lord can help the demigods to regain the kingdom, their heavenly kingdom. So this is what has happened. So Vamandev has appeared as son of Aditi, and Vamandev then comes to an assembly where Bali Maharaj is performing a sacrifice. And Vamandev then discusses with Bali Maharaj and asks Bali Maharaj to give him three land which is equivalent to his 3 foots. And Bali Maharaj then, and there is a discussion between Vamandev and Bali Maharaj, and Vamandev explains to Bali Maharaj how somebody must be satisfied with whatever he has and whatever is required, and then ask him for those 3 foot of land. And Bali Maharaj agrees to it, despite his guru Shukracharya's understanding that this is Lord Vishnu who has come here to take away everything from Bali Maharaj. And then Bali Maharaj agrees to the proposal, and then Vamandev with his 2 foot basically captures the entire, I mean, he places his 2 foots on everything, and then he takes away everything from Bali Maharaj. And then Vamandev even arrests Bali Maharaj and ties him up with Varuna Pasha, and then Bali Maharaj tells Vamandev to put his 3rd foot on his head, and with that Vamandev becomes very happy and awards Bali Maharaj the planet Sutala, which is a lower planetary system, but as Mataji explained yesterday, it is a very opulent planet. And Prahlad Maharaj also appears in this assembly, and then Prahlad Maharaj is also glorifying the Supreme Lord, as we'll see in this chapter. So what happens is Bali Maharaj has been released, will be released, and then he will go to Sutala planet, and then the demigods will regain the heavenly planet. So this chapter basically discusses about that. So let's read the summary once, and then we'll get into the shloka. So today, actually, the shlokas which we have, there is not much purport, and it's just purely about describing some events with little philosophical or I mean, it's just basically an event which is happening, and that is described in this chapter. That's what I would want to say. So there are not many purports to that, and there are not much I would say discussion point, but yes, we will read it, and it's always glorious to remember the Supreme Lord, right? So we'll discuss about Prahlad Maharaj, we'll discuss about Vamandev, and we'll also discuss about the great personalities who are present in the assembly at this time. Okay, so let's get started. This chapter describes how Bali Maharaj, along with his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, enter the planet Sutala, and how the Supreme Personality of Godhead allowed Indra to re-enter the heavenly planet. Now, mind you, Bali Maharaj is a Mahajan, Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahajan. So you see this grandfather and grandson both are Mahajans. Mahajans are those 12 personalities who can understand the plan of the God, right? They are very, very exalted devotees of the Lord who can understand what the Supreme Lord is doing, right? So you can understand the position of Bali Maharaj. He's not an ordinary entity, right? He's a Mahajan, and both the grandson and grandfather are Mahajans. Okay, so the glorious family, right? Though they are coming from Hiranyakashipu and all that. So, but this lineage has glorious devotees like Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. So the great soul, Bali Maharaj, experienced that the highest gain in life is to attain devotional service under the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet in full surrender. Being fixed in this conclusion, his heart full of ecstatic devotion and his eyes full of tears, he offered obeisances to the personality of Godhead and then with his associates entered the planet known as Sutala. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead satisfied the desire of Aditi and reinstalled Lord Indra. Prahlad Maharaj, being aware of Bali's release from arrest, then described the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world. Prahlad Maharaj praised the Supreme Lord for creating the material world, for being equal to everyone, and for being extremely liberal to the devotees, just like a desire tree. Indeed, Prahlad Maharaj said that the Lord is kind not only to his devotees but also to the demons. In this way, he described the unlimited causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, with folded hands, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the Lord, and after circumambulating the Lord, he also entered the planet Sutala in accordance with the Lord's order. The Lord, I think we finished the discussion till this point yesterday with the 16 shlokas. We'll start with 17. Let's see. The Lord then ordered Shukracharya to describe Bali Maharaj's fault and discrepancies in executing the sacrificial ceremony. Shukracharya became free from fruitive actions by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And he explained how chanting can diminish all the faults of the conditioned soul. He then completed Bali Maharaj's sacrificial ceremony. All the great saintly persons accepted Lord Vamanadev as the benefactor of Lord Indra because he had returned Indra to his heavenly planet. They accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the maintainer of all the affairs of the universe. Being very happy, Indra, along with his associates, placed Vamanadev before him and re-entered the heavenly planet in their airplane. Having seen the wonderful activities of Lord Vishnu in the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj, all the demigods, saintly persons, pitas, bhutas, siddhas glorified the Lord again and again. The chapter concludes by saying that the most auspicious function of the conditioned soul is to chant and hear about the glorious activities of Lord Vishnu. So we will see how Shukracharya also is saying that one should chant the names of the Lord. So there is a shloka in this chapter where Shukracharya says that performing or doing chanting the names of the Lord is the only, I mean, he talks about chanting the holy name and the glories of chanting the holy name of the Lord. So we will look into it. So this is chapter 8, sorry, Canto 8, chapter 23. Now we'll start with shloka 17th. So now before, like, just for a connect, we'll see a little, we'll just go a little back. Okay. So here you see in the 14th one, O best of the Brahmanas, Shukracharya, please describe. So this is, who is speaking this? Lord Vaman Dev is speaking to Shukracharya, that describe the fault or discrepancy in your disciple Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj has now already left for the planet Sutala, right? Bali Maharaj along with Prahlad Maharaj, they are all going to the Sutala planet along with all their associates. And the Lord has agreed to become a doorkeeper for Bali Maharaj. Now this is what shows that the Supreme Lord is always bhava. He's controlled by his devotees, right? He's very much controlled by his devotees, and he's very much pleased with his devotees. So you can understand he's ready to take the position of a doorkeeper. So he's basically protecting Bali Maharaj for time immemorial, right? And he also promises Bali Maharaj that you will then become Indra. Next Indra would be you. Okay. So Bali Maharaj goes to Sutala planet, and then Lord Vaman Dev is speaking with Shukracharya, and so he's asking Shukracharya to describe the fault or discrepancies. There are many other Brahmanas who are present in that assembly, and this discussion, when the Supreme Lord says that in the presence of these Brahmanas, you can perform that, complete the sacrifice and nullify those discrepancies. That's what the Lord is asking Shukracharya to do finally. Then Shukracharya starts speaking. Okay. And Shukracharya said, my Lord, you are the enjoyer and lawgiver in all performances of sacrifice, and you are the Yajna Purusha, the person to whom all sacrifices are offered. If one has fully satisfied you, where is the chance of the discrepancies or faults in his performances of sacrifice? So Shukracharya is basically saying that since you are present here, there is no chance of anything going wrong. Nothing has gone wrong, and because you are satisfied, because Bali Maharaj has satisfied you, nothing has gone wrong. That's what basically he's saying. Now, what he's saying is there may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras and observing the regulative principles, and moreover, there may be discrepancies in regard to time, place, person, and paraphernalia. But when your lordship's holy name is chanted, everything becomes faultless. See, this is the exact words of Shukracharya. Now, who is Shukracharya, right? Shukracharya is a Brahmanavadi, right? He is very expert at doing all these things, but he also understands that even if there are faults in observing the regulative principles, discrepancies, time, place, person, and paraphernalia, which is applicable in this Kali Yuga, right? In this Kali Yuga, we cannot perform any Vedic sacrifices properly. We cannot perform the regulative principles. We cannot perform, we cannot even get proper paraphernalia for a yajna, right? It is not possible. We cannot forget about paraphernalia. We cannot even get proper pure cow ghee today, right? So you can imagine that the state in which we are in. So, but we have what do we have? We have a big lottery when the Lordship's holy name is chanted. So if you take the Lord's name in anything which you do, then it becomes faultless. It becomes faultless. And this is what Shukracharya is telling in the presence of Lord Vamanadev, right? So if you look at this, Sarvam Karoti Nischidram Anusankirtanam Tava, right? Anusankirtanam, Sankirtanam, right? This word is, there is no discrepancy here. It's not that because we do Sankirtan, we are saying this. No, this is what is mentioned very clearly. There is no discrepancy in this. Tava means to you, right? To you, Tava, because Vaman Dev is standing there, right? And he's and Shukracharya is saying Anu Sankirtanam Tava, right? And when Sankirtana is done, everything becomes Nischidram, right? So let's look at this little bit. Without discrepancy, right? This is what it means. Constantly chanting the holy name of your lordships, right? So very, very clearly he's saying that if this is done, then all the discrepancies are removed, or there are no discrepancies in anything which is done. So we have this lottery where no matter what we do, you're performing a homam, you're doing any ceremony, anything you are doing, if Sankirtan is done, it becomes auspicious, no matter what might have gone wrong into it. So that is what is the verdict of Shukracharya, right? And this is the verdict of many, 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 many great saints. So of that, so our scriptures are very clearly saying that Sankirtanam or Sankirtan is the process, or is the way we can achieve everything what we want, right? Spiritually, correct? Let's now move ahead to Sloka 17th. I'll read the translations and then we'll slowly move ahead. So now Vaman Dev is speaking. Lord Vishnu, sorry, Shukracharya is speaking, sorry. Lord Vishnu, I must nonetheless act in obedience to your order, because obeying your order is most auspicious and is the first duty of everyone. So Shukracharya is saying that there are no discrepancies, but still, since you are saying that there was some faults in the yajna being performed, I will correct those. Okay, that's what he's saying. I nonetheless act in obedience, right? He explains that there are no discrepancies because you are satisfied. But still, as you are saying, I will act in obedience to your order, because obeying your order is most auspicious. Text 18. Now, Sukadev Goswami continued. In this way, the most powerful Shukracharya accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full respect. Along with the best Brahmanas, he began to compensate for the discrepancies in the sacrifices performed by Bali Maharaj. So, Sukracharya will now start whatever discrepancies might have been there, he is now trying to correct them. Okay. 19th. O King Parikshit. So Shukadev Goswami is now speaking to with Parikshit Maharaj, because Parikshit Maharaj is sitting and hearing this katha. O King Parikshit, thus having taken all the land of Bali Maharaj by begging, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vamanadev, delivered to his brother Indra all the land taken away by Indra's enemy. Okay, so Vamandev has appeared as son of Aditi, so he is a brother of Indra. 2021. Lord Brahma, the master of King Daksha and all other Prajapatis, accompanied by all the demigods, the great saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, the Manus, the Munis, and such leaders as Daksha, Brigu, and Angira, as well as Kartikeya and Lord Shiva, accepted Lord Vamanadeva as the protector of everyone. He did this for the pleasure of Kashyapa Muni and his wife Aditi, and for the welfare of all the inhabitants of the universe, including their leaders. So again, Shukadev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, that he's saying that who were present in that assembly. You can see all the great personalities who are present, right? And when Lord Vamandev appeared, you can see all the great personalities who are present in that assembly. 22 and 23. O King Parikshit, Indra was considered the king of all the universe, but the demigods headed by Lord Brahma wanted Upendra, Lord Vamandev, as the protector of the Vedas, the principles of religion, fame, opulence, auspiciousness, vows, elevation to the higher planetary system, and liberation. Thus they accepted Upendra, Lord Vamanadeva, as the supreme master of everything. This decision made all living entities extremely happy. See, Indra considered the king of all the universe, but demigods headed by Lord Brahma wanted Vamanadeva as the protector of the Vedas, the principle of religion, fame, opulence. So basically they are under the shelter of the Supreme Lord, right? That's what is being mentioned here. Thereafter, along with all the leaders of the heavenly planets, Indra, the king of heaven, placed Lord Vamandev before him, and with the approval of Lord Brahma, brought him to the heavenly planet in a celestial airplane. So Lord Vamandev is a small child, right? He's a small child. So they are bringing Lord Vamandev to the heavenly planets, taking him to the heavenly planets. 25. Indra, king of heaven, being protected by the arms of Vamanadeva, the supreme personality of Godhead, thus regained his rule of the three worlds and was reinstated in his own position, supremely opulent, fearless, and fully satisfied. Now, you might ask this question, right? Why is Indra being protected again and again and again and again and again by the Supreme Lord? You can see so many times, right? Indra losing his kingdom, then the Supreme Lord helping him to get back his kingdom, right? And we can see at a lot of places also Indra is doing some mistakes, some mischief, something going wrong. But what we must understand that Indra is a great devotee of the Lord. He might do mistakes, but then he's a great devotee of the Lord. He understands, and when he realizes his mistake, he's repentant, right? Though he does some mistakes, he is repentant always, and he is always ready to follow the orders of the Supreme Lord, right? He never goes against the orders of the Supreme Lord. And that's why the Supreme Lord also protects him and allows him. I mean, he's protected again and again by the Supreme Lord, correct? Uh, though he does mischief, though he does mistakes, though he does things which are not according to his position or stature, right? So there are you can see those leelas which are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam where Indra does not act according to his position. We can see those, but still he is a great devotee of the Lord, and he is, that's why, protected by the Lord, and he's always ready to follow the orders of the Lord. So that's why Indra is always able to get back his kingdom and all that, right? Let's move ahead. Text 26 and 27. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Kartikeya, the great sage Bhrigu, other saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, and all other living entities present, including the inhabitants of Siddhaloka and living entities who travel in outer space by airplane, all glorified the uncommon activities of Lord Vamandev. O king, while chanting about and glorifying the Lord, they return to their respective heavenly planets. They also praise the position of Aditi. So all these great people who had come in that assembly because the Lord Vamandev appeared there are now going back to their own heavenly planets, right? Respective heavenly planets. So there are many heavenly planets, not just the heavenly planet of Indra. All these demigods where they live, they are all heavenly planets. Okay. We cannot imagine the opulence which is there in those heavenly planets. It is very opulent from the planet Earth. Okay. But what is the advantage on planet Earth? We can simply chant the names of Lord Hari and we can get liberated from this material world. It is not easy to get liberated from a higher planetary system because that opulence will overshadow everything, right? And mind you, the facility to chant the names of Lord is available in those heavenly planets as well, and they do also chant the names of Lord Hari. But if you look at on the planet Earth, it is I mean, we are much more easily become aware of the problems of the material world, right? I mean, even on this planet Earth, where there are so many difficulties and others, people don't realize. So you can imagine when you go to higher planetary or the heavenly planets, you'll never realize that the material world is so bad. It's a jail. People don't even on Earth, people don't realize it despite facing so many problems. So what to say of the heavenly planets? And that's why it is said that it is difficult to get. I mean, when I say difficult, it's just that we don't realize that we are in this material world and this is all temporary because the opulence overshadows everything. Correct? Let's move ahead. 28. O Maharaj Parikshit, pleasure of your dynasty, I have now described to you everything about the wonderful activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vamandeva. Those who hear about this are certainly freed from all the results of sinful activities. So anybody who hears this katha about Lord Vamandev, Sukadev Goswami is giving us a benediction that they are freed from all the results of sinful activities. And that's why chanting and remembering the glories of the Lord has so much potency and benefit. Now we'll go to 29 and there is a purport and we'll read the purport. Anybody wants to read it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandat Pranam, Mataji. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Paramahimna Urvikramato Granano Ya Parthivani Sarajam Shimatyaha Kim Jayamana Utajata Upaiti Martya Ityaha Mantra Drishihi Purushasya Yasya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One who is subject to death cannot measure the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Trivikrama, Lord Vishnu, any more than he can count the number of atoms on the entire planet Earth. No one, whether born already or destined to take birth, is able to do this. This has been sung by the great sage Vasishta. Purport. Vasishta Muni has given a mantra about Lord Vishnu. Nate Vishnur Jayamano na Jato Mahimnaha Param Antam Apa. Anantam Apa. No one can estimate the extent of the uncommonly glorious activities of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, there are so-called scientists who are subject to death at every moment but are trying to understand by speculation the wonderful creation of the cosmos. This is a foolish attempt. Long ago, Vasishta Muni said that no one in the past could measure the glories of the Lord, and that no one can do so in the future. One must simply be satisfied with seeing the glorious activities of the Supreme Lord's creation. The Lord therefore says in Bhagavad Gita 10.42, Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam ekam sena stito jagat. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. This material world consists of innumerable universes, each one full of innumerable planets, which are all considered to be the products of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's material energy. Yet, this is only 1/4 of God's creation. The other 3/4 of creation constitute the spiritual world. Among the innumerable planets in only one universe, the so-called scientists cannot understand even the moon and Mars, but they try to defy the creation of Supreme Lord and his uncommon energy. Such men have been described as crazy. Noonam pramattaha kurute vikrama. Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, 4th shloka. Such crazy men unnecessarily waste time, energy, and money in attempting to defy the glorious activities of Urukrama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So it is said, right? If you go to a beach, right? If you go to a beach, there are sand particles on the beach, right? So the number of universes are I mean, if you count those dust particles there, right? I mean, you start counting those dust particles, which is impossible to count, right? There are so many universes in the world. in this material manifestation, there are so many universes. And in those universes, there are innumerable of planets, right? Now, understand our position, right? Look at our position. We are in one of that universe on one of the planet called Earth. And in that Earth, we are in one state, in that we are in one city. So you can understand how tiny we are, how tiny our position is. And we still think, oh, I can control things. I can become a ruler of this world. Now imagine somebody who's a ruler of the Earth. Just imagine. Even if he's a ruler of the whole planet, which today is just impossible for anybody to become, even then it is simply insignificant, right? It's not even a whole dust particle, right, on that sand beach. Because I'm saying each of those dust particle are like universes, and in those universes there are innumerable planets, and in those planets then you have a king. So even if you become the king of this planet, or whatever you, even if you become the CM of this state, or you become a PM of this country, or you become a very powerful person in this world, you are just nothing. Nothing means nothing, absolutely zero. And people become so puffed up with their success and all that. But when you understand this enormity or the greatness of the Supreme Lord, you will understand that we are just nothing. And that nothing, when we understand that, that's where humility comes in, right? You can understand the greatness of that Lord who has created all of this, right? It's just coming out from his pores and going back into him. So no matter how big a controller we might become, we will be nothing, right? You cannot even, we can maybe just control a planet, right? Maybe you will become a controller of one universe, in one universe, those 14 planetary system. But then there are so many universes, right? See, when Lord Brahma became bewildered, right, the Supreme Lord asked Brahmas from other universes to also come. And when Lord Brahma saw this, oh, there is a Brahma with 10 heads, there is a Brahma with 15 heads, there is a Brahma with, he realized that even if for us in this planetary system, Brahma has 4 heads, right? So our universe is pretty much small. And that's where he realized that how small I am, right? And that's what is being shown here, right? That the greatness of the Lord is so much that we cannot describe it. We cannot, I mean, it's being spoken that if you count the number of atoms, we are talking about atoms, right, in this whole material creation, the number which we'll get, the glories of the Lord are greater than that, right? So just to give a comparison, right? I mean, the glories of the Lord are unlimited. You cannot count them, but just for our brain to visualize or understand, this comparison is given, right? That if you count the number of atoms in this and then you compare the glories of the glories of the Lord are much greater than that. So we should understand our position, that we are insignificant, we are nothing. And then with that humility, once you get that humility, once you get that understanding, that's when you can, I mean, no matter what happens, right? Once you become little humble, you can perform your devotional service, right? So that humbleness will come when you understand our insignificant position. Okay, let's move ahead to shloka 30. Again, there is no purport, but anybody would want to read this translation or shloka also?
I'll Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I can read the translation, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead, Prabhuji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. If one hears about the uncommon activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations, he is certainly elevated to higher planetary systems or even brought back home, back to Godhead. Goal.
Hare Krishna. So then we are so fortunate that on this Ekadashi day, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, right? We are discussing about the glories of the Lord, right? Let's move ahead. This is the last shloka, I believe. So that it has some purport, and anybody wants to read, you can go ahead, Prabhu, if you want to.
Yeah, I can continue, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Translation. Whenever the activities of Vaman Dev are described in the course of ritualistic ceremony, whether the ceremony be performed to please the demigod, to please one's forefathers in Pitraloka, or to celebrate a social event like a marriage, that ceremony should be understood to be extremely auspicious. Quote, there are three kinds of ceremonies, specifically ceremonies to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the demigods. Those performed for social celebrations like marriage and birthdays, and those meant to please the forefathers, like the Shraddha ceremony. In all these ceremonies, large amount of money are spent for various activities. But here it is suggested that if this there is recitation of the wonderful activities of the Vaman Dev, certainly the ceremony will be carried out successfully and will be free of all the
That discrepancy.
discrepancies.
Yeah.
Thus, in the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the English Canto 12th, 23rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled "The Demigods Regain the Heavenly Planets." Haribol.
Hare Krishna. So here ends the pastime of Lord Vamandev. So Shukadev Goswami has described this pastime completely to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami is saying that whenever the activities of Vamandev are described in any ceremony, in any ritualistic ceremony, be it whatever ceremony we do, right? As Prabhupada is saying, right? There are three kinds of ceremonies. Ceremonies to please the personality of Godhead, right? This is where we do yajna or homam, or like we perform these ceremonies, right? Or like Satyanarayan Katha or Satyanarayan Vrata Katha, whatever. So these are ceremonies to please the personality of the Lord. Then there are social celebrations like marriages and birthdays. Though marriage is a samskara, right? But then there is a ceremony in that also, correct? With that, why is it called a social celebration? Because we invite people from the society, right? Everybody is invited to a marriage and a birthday. Then those meant to please the forefathers, like we perform the Shraddha ceremony for our forefathers. So in all these ceremonies, if you chant the glories of the Lord, or if you chant the names of the God, then it becomes auspicious and it's free of all discrepancies. That's the verdict of Shukracharya, and that's the verdict of this scriptures. So that's why in any ceremony we must do Sankirtan. And I think we are so blessed that we have this knowledge and the understanding and the training and that we are tuned to this, right? No matter if we have time, we start doing that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I mean, everybody, even in a tense situation, it is a blessing that we have, that we start doing that, right? That day there was a trouble at our temple, right? We went there. So what were the devotees doing there? They were chanting. They were doing this kirtan, right? So even in tense moments, even in happy moments, even in any moment, right? You can simply chant the names of Lord Hari, and things settle in place, right? That's the verdict of the scriptures, and that's a very, very simple process. Doesn't need anything. You don't need too much. You don't need to organize too much to do a Sankirtan. So with this, it ends here. So if there are questions, we'll take that. Any discussion we want to have, we can have that. And then probably we'll try to read. I mean, Shilpa Mataji was saying, I don't know to read Bhishma Stuti. If some of you know, then we can go there and read Bhishma Stuti as Bhishma Panchaka is starting today. So if anybody knows to read it, I'll open it and we can read the Bhishma Stuti, or we can even stop the class. That's absolutely fine. A little short class today because there was not much here.
Prabhuji, we will read Bhishma Stuti, Prabhuji.
Okay. If you're comfortable, Mataji, you can lead us and we will read the Bhishma Stuti. So I was thinking of Gopi Geet also, but let's read Bhishma Stuti. So let me open Bhishma Stuti.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So first, before we start, I mean, if there are any questions, please go ahead and you can ask. Okay, so if not, let's read Bhishma Stuti. So Mataji, you can lead us. We will try to read the shloka in translation. Is that okay, or just the shloka? I think we should read the translation at least. That will help us to understand.
Couple of slokas we will recite, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Let's start then. Mataji, Saraswati Mataji, you want to start?
Prabhuji, Madhav Mataji can start, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Yes, please go ahead, Madhavi Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Saraswati Mataji, thank you. Shri Bhishma Uvacha Iti Mate Krishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumi Swasukhamupagate Kvachit Vihatum Prakritimupeyusiye Bhava Pravaha.
Yes.
Translation, Mataji.
Yeah, translation, Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Bhishma Deva said, "Let me now invest my thinking, feeling and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Sri Krishna. He is always satisfied, but sometimes being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world, although from him only the material world is created." Purport.
Mataji,
Because Bhishma Deva was a
we'll not read the purport. We'll try to cover a little more shlokas by reading the shloka and
Yeah.
translation. Yeah,
Sure,
because the
sure,
purports
Prabhuji.
are pretty big
Saraswati
in
Mataji.
this.
Yeah. Sure, Prabhuji. Saraswati Mataji, you can carry on. Next sloka.
Text 33. त्रिभुवनकमनं तमालवर्णं रविकरगौरवर अम्बरं दधाने वपुरअलककुलावृतानाब्जं विजय सकेरतिरस्तु मे अनवद्या. Translation. Shri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the Tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face covered with the paintings of sandalwood pulp be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Anybody would want to read this shloka? Mataji, you can read. Madhvi Mataji, if you know this.
This tune I don't know, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay.
We can
Okay.
go for translation.
So we'll read this translation then. That's okay.
Yeah.
So on the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna. See, Lord Bhishma Dev is shooting arrows at Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna is enjoying that also, right? He's giving wounds to the Lord, and he knows that the Lord is enjoying that, right? You see the relationship between the devotee and the Supreme Lord, that the Supreme Lord enjoys even the wounds dealt by that arrows, right? He's enjoying that. Let's go ahead. There are big purports to it. Very, I mean, absolutely great purports here, but in interest of time, we'll just move ahead. Translation. in obedience to the command of his friend, Lord Krishna entered the arena of the battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana. And while there, he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna. So the Lord Krishna is in the battlefield and is shortening the lives of so many soldiers, right? Everybody was killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But then the benefit of getting killed on that battlefield was that they were all liberated. Everybody. 36. When Arjuna was seemingly polluted by ignorance upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. May his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction. So again, Bhishma Dev is remembering the Lord in different ways. 37. Fulfilling my woe and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way. So Bhishma Dev is remembering that scene when Lord Krishna attacks Bhishma Dev, right? uh, because he wants to protect Arjuna, and he feels that Arjuna is not fighting the world with, because he is too attached to Bhishma Dev. And that's when the Lord gets down from the chariot. He picks up a wheel to kill Bhishma, and Bhishma Dev then just simply puts down his bow and arrow. And he's thinking of that scene. He's thinking of Lord Krishna in that position, right? And he's enjoying, relishing that he is ready to sacrifice his own promise, right, fulfilling my vow, because Bhishma Dev took the vow that I will make Lord Krishna pick up weapons in the battlefield, and the Lord fulfilled that vow for him, and he sacrificed his own promise again, right? So 38. May he, Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who always awards salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, he charged me as if angry because of the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds. Again, Bhishmadev is remembering Lord Krishna and on the battlefield, right? He's thinking about him always. And he is thinking that he's charging towards me as if he's angry because of the wounds. And Bhishmadev had shot lot of arrows at Arjuna, and some of them hurt Krishna as well. Anybody please want to read? Go ahead.
Hare
Anybody?
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please go ahead, Prabhuji.
At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Krishna, Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjuna, who stood with the whip in his right hand and a brindle rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original form after death.
Yeah. So you see, everybody was liberated. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death. Okay. Anybody? Okay, let my mind be fixed upon. Okay, go ahead, Mataji, please go ahead. Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the themselves of Vrajadhama, the gopis. The themselves imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from the Rasa dance. So Bhishma Dev is thinking about all these pastimes of the Supreme Lord. 41. At the Rajasuyu Yagna sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, there was the greatest assembly of all the elite men of the world, the royal and learned orders, and in that great assembly, Lord Sri Krishna was worshipped by one and all as the most exalted personality of Godhead. This happened during my presence, and I remembered the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. So he's remembering those pastimes of the Lord, and he's remembering about Lord Krishna one by one on the battlefield, all his activities. And this is what we also have to do, right? At the time of death, if we can remember the Lord, and we can only remember if we have read this, understood this, we have contemplated on these pastimes of the Lord. So the scriptures are available. That's why we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, right? When you do that, you will remember these pastimes of the Lord, right, at the time of death. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord, Shri Krishna, now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconception of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of the mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. So you look at these prayers of Bhishma Devi, so very direct, right? Very clear. Again, Bhishma Dev is a Mahajan, right? Please remember that. So this is where I think it ends, the prayers of the Supreme Bhishma Dev, right? And Sutta Goswami said, thus Bhishma Dev merged himself in the super soul, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight, and action. And thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. And that's when Bhishma Dev passed away. Remembering the Supreme Lord, remembering his activities, remembering his transcendental form, he simply stopped breathing. And on that battlefield where the Lord is present before Bhishma Dev, right? In this assembly, there were so many people who had come when Bhishma Dev was leaving his body, right? So there are many. There is a description here in Bhagavatam about who all had come, how Bhishma Dev actually welcomed each one of them, and so on. And then finally Bhishma Dev remembers the Lord and then leaves his body. So here I think it ends. The Bhishma Stuti ends, and I think we can stop the class here. Thank you everyone for joining. Please, as I said, this is Bhishma Panchak. Do perform some devotional activities in these 5 days. Take advantage of it, and it will have multifold benefits for our spiritual life. So thank you everyone for joining in, and please forgive me if I've said something which might have hurt you. And if you liked anything, it's all glories of the parampara. Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll stop this class.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one thing actually it's very hard to conceive
Hmm.
this for a common people like Bhishma is one way he's having a war with Krishna, like he's throwing arrows, hurting him, and then he's worshipping him also.
Basically, Prabhuji, this is a rasa which the Lord enjoys with his devotee, right? The Lord also likes to fight. That's a rasa. It's like just
Yeah,
like in food, we put different spices, right? We also put chili, right? Though it is hot.
yeah.
So he's actually enjoying. The Lord actually, it's written there, right? You can see that he enjoyed the wounds which I have inflicted,
Oh,
right? The Lord actually enjoyed it because,
so
right? So you're right that it is difficult to understand this, and Bhishma Dev is a great devotee of the Lord, right? He is a Mahajan,
correct.
and he understands the plan of the Lord. He is ready to be used by the Lord, right? In order to
Mhm.
show to the world that even if you are a great devotee, no matter what you are, if you are not on the side of the dharma, you will finally land. I mean, you will perish to death, right? Bhishma Dev is a classic example of that, right? He is all powerful, yet finally is defeated because he is on the side of adharma. So the Lord is using him to teach us so many lessons, right? And Bhishma Dev, being a great devotee of the Lord, is ready to do that service, right? Now, in till time immemorial, it will be said that Bhishma Dev was on the side of Duryodhana. He was on the side of adharma. But then he accepted that service, right? So and he enjoys the Supreme Lord also enjoys fighting with him.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, I mean, to say that we need to understand the philosophy behind this. Unless
Exactly.
people,
And
yeah,
that's why it is said that our scriptures must be studied under the guidance of a guru, right? I mean, why do we need a guru, right? Why do we need this association of Vaishnavas? Because then they can give us this perspective and understanding. Otherwise, if you go, I mean, somebody who is not a devotee might interpret it in whatever way they want it, right?
yes, Prabhuji.
And
Yeah.
that's where this parampara system, this having a guru and having understanding it in that parampara system is very important. Otherwise, you can get bewildered by these scriptures, right? You will go haywire, right? Unless
Yeah.
you understand it properly.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
lecture.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining in. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhyasya Antakoti Vaishnava की जय. Srila Prabhupada की जय.
Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam
Bhagavatam की जय.
Shreegopal Prabhu ki jai.
Down, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.